Landman Season 2's fourth episode seems to be essentially in standstill. The first 40 minutes of Dancing Rainbows focus on two topics that viewers are already familiar with: Cami Miller's sadness over her husband's passing and Tommy Norris' lack of grief over his mother's passing. Despite all of that, the episode does at last begin to address the issue that has been present throughout the season. Tommy's mother's funeral takes up the majority of the first part of this episode, including the drive there, the actual service, and the shared dinner that follows. None of this reveals anything that would alter the audience's opinion of Tommy or his family. Ariana's decision to go to the service with Cooper is the main plot point. Ariana gains a fresh understanding of Cooper's personality after meeting Cooper's family and learning about Tommy's horrific abuse tale. Because Tommy, unsurprisingly, has no interest in discussing or lamenting his mother, neither does the audience. This plot hasn't had the emotional impact that co-creator Taylor Sheridan hopes it will. It's difficult not to draw comparisons between this and John Dutton's death at Yellowstone. John was a key figure and the cornerstone of Yellowstone, but his passing was viewed as a moment that transformed every character. This is the clear and important distinction. Fans of Landman, on the other hand, must connect with Tommy's mother through him as they are unable to do so directly. It's almost impossible for the audience to care when he doesn't want to. There is too much time spent here, including an unfunny comedic relief bit regarding Angela's road trip playlists. On the way to a funeral, Tommy tells her that it makes no sense, therefore the humor itself stands out like a sore thumb as well. Ariana's decision to renew her romance with Cooper is the truly noteworthy development. Given that their breakup initially felt abrupt, this is fantastic news for both characters. The reconciliation process does, however, highlight a problem with their writing. Ariana's main grievance is that rather than fighting for me or coming up with another option, Cooper departed when she ordered him to. But is it really his fault that he made an effort to honor her clear wishes? He can be passive because he is usually very courteous. So maybe their conversations will be less biased the next time. Speaking of single dimensions, Dancing Rainbows merits praise for returning some of Angela and Ainsley Norris' Dimension A. With Ainsley getting emotional with Tommy's story about her grandmother and Angela attempting to persuade Tommy to speak to TL, the funeral allows both characters to have genuine serious moments. It's wonderful to see these characters having depth once more, especially when Angela uses her time at the retirement community to shed light on TL and his father's relationship. In Landman Season 2, Episode 4, Angela and Ainsley are more pertinent than they have been throughout. A subplot involving Rebecca Falcone, on the other hand, is either an attempt at foreshadowing or entirely random comedic relief. On her trip, Rebecca encounters Charlie, played by Guy Burnett, who previously played Grant, Stella Kidd's violent ex-husband on Chicago Fire. And the two go to sleep together after a lot of turmoil and alcohol. Charlie's introduction may have some connection to the main plot because he says he works in the oil fields. These sequences don't make much sense otherwise. Does the audience need to know who Rebecca is hooking up with while intoxicated? There isn't much plot development here, which makes the first half of the show seem uninteresting. Even though he claims he would just negotiate the parameters of their agreement with Tommy, Landman formally places Cami in business with Galeno. Naturally, there are Cooper and Ariana. At the end of the hour, TL accepts Tommy's invitation to move in with everyone else. With the exception of poor Jarrell's terror in the hospital, the MTX scenario is largely ignored. Additionally, the episode falls short of its potential since there aren't enough emotional stakes to make up for that gap. It's strange that Season 2 hasn't yet found that punch because Sheridan is writing every episode of Landman once more. He's doing what he did before. However, Ainsley and Angela do begin to feel more completely formed in this episode, which is crucial for Season 2's overall coherence. It makes up for Cooper and Ariana's breakup. There are also some story breadcrumbs to follow. Tommy, and the audience, may at least begin to move on, even though it's hardly Sheridan's best work on the topic of sorrow. Cami Miller, Demi Moore, is at a turning point in her personal and professional life. When she visits Monty's, John Hamm, tomb, she thanks him for the ring she discovered in his closet that he had given her on their 30th anniversary and tells him she's trying so hard not to be angry with him for the mess he left her. She says, I thought we'd have 20 more, in a poignant moment. After deciding to list their home, Cami meets with Galeno, Andy Garcia, in an attempt to get his investment, not realizing that his funds are derived from cartel activity. What happens to TL Norris? After attending his late wife's funeral, TL tells a tale from before she passed away that explains why he had made such an effort to love her throughout the years. What else takes place in episode 4 of Landman season 2? In another scene in the show, Rebecca, Kayla Wallace, had to handle the legal ramifications of a deadly collision at one of the company's pump jacks. But when she gets wasted on the plane and ends up having a one-night stand with a charming man she just met, we also witness a whole different aspect of her personality. Is it incorrect for us to suspect that he is a plant designed to divert her attention? Because to Angela's, Ollie Larder, insistence, Tommy offers to take TL